Shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring From the Blue Seats, a New York Rangers podcast. I recently became a brand ambassador for these guys, and let me tell you something. I am glad I did because they are the real deal. SeatGeek is a ticket app that takes all the confusion out of buying tickets. They have a 0 to 10 score on each ticket to let you know if you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. Green means good, red means bad. Your next best night ever is waiting, and SeatGeek has you covered. And that's not all. My listeners can get $20 off their first purchase when they use my code BLUESEATS. That's $20 off your first ticket order with code BLUESEATS. And with these ticket prices that I'm seeing lately, Ranger fans, I would jump on this now. So download the SeatGeek app or go to SeatGeek.com and use my code BLUESEATS for $20 off your first ticket order. SeatGeek, the official ticket app of From the Blue Seats, a New York Rangers podcast. Let there be live. What is going on, Rangers fans? My name is Jimmy Fanizzi, and this is From the Blue Seats, a New York Rangers podcast right here on the Hockey Podcast Network. I hope that you have been well. Make sure you follow us on all social media, Twitter and Instagram at BlueSeats94, and use the hashtag BlueSeats to interact with us on any and all topics at hand. Also, if you're watching on the YouTube side, make sure that you smash that like button and also subscribe and hit the bell so you do not miss a single episode. And make sure that you subscribe on all audio platforms, and please rate us 5 stars as well. It would mean the world to us. So first and foremost, I do want to sincerely apologize for the lack of content there has been as far as episodes lately. Life has just been very, very hectic. I've been trying to balance my work-life schedule as best as I can. Unfortunately, that has not been an easy road for the past month or so, but I am happy to report that I am starting to get on the right track, so there will be much more content coming your way very, very soon. But I have been active on social media, as you can see by my game previews, game recaps, live stream promotions, etc. As a matter of fact, I still am doing live streams on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel, and my next one is going to be December 19th, Rangers versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. Make sure you subscribe to the THPN YouTube channel for that one, and make sure that you subscribe to that channel as well. But again, December 19th, Rangers versus Maple Leafs. Your boy will have all the action for you. But anyway, I figured to kill time until an actual new episode is in order, I made a guest appearance on another podcast talking about the Rangers, and I figured, why not share it with you on this show? So, I was a guest on the Puck and Pigskin podcast with Jason, a good friend of mine. He is an excellent host, excellent podcast. Make sure that you go subscribe to the Puck and Pigskin podcast. I'll leave links down below in the description section. So, I had the opportunity to talk with Jason about the New York Rangers and the state of the team so far this season. This was live streamed on his YouTube channel on December 7th. Keep that in mind. It was live streamed on December 7th. So with that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
First of all, I want to clear up and make sure that I'm saying your name right. Fanizzi?
Close enough. It's Fanizzi, but you're close enough.
Fanizzi, okay.
You're close enough. Hey, I'll give you credit, though. Nobody ever gets that last name correct, so you came close.
Nobody ever gets mine correct either, so I feel you, man.
What's yours?
Mine is Bisic, but everyone says Bisic or Bisic or...
I like that one. All right. I was just curious.
Yeah, so... yeah, like I mentioned here, the Rangers sit first place in the NHL with an 18-5-1 record. This has to be the best start that the New York Rangers have had in quite some time. Am I right?
Yeah, in a long time. And I'm actually quite surprised, to be honest with you, that they're this hot to start the year because, you know, growing up a Ranger fan my whole life, I was only 2 months old when they last won the Stanley Cup. So I do have vivid memories of it, but I haven't actually seen them win it. I've only seen highlights. So in my lifetime, I've never actually seen the Rangers win a championship, although I would like to. Um, but with that being said, this is probably the best that I have seen the Rangers look in a while. And that's saying a lot considering the fact that I've been harping on this team to play better defensively for nearly a decade now, and they actually have. And that is one of the key reasons as to why they've been off to this hot start, outside of the fact that they had a poor performance against the Ottawa Senators last night, but that's another discussion for another day. My point being is this. I do love the fact that they're this hot, but at the same time, I am a bit concerned about it because they still have shown flashes where they still try to go for the pretty pass way too much. Just shoot the puck. It is nice that they're actually shooting it a lot more this year than in years past, but at the same time, when you shoot so much and focus so much on scoring, you also tend to forget how to defend. So you got to figure out how to do both. And until I see it, I'm still a bit skeptical about this hot start. However, I am happy at the same time because they are looking really, really good. Literally everybody's contributing. Panarin is just absolutely on fire right now. He's on pace for a 100-point season. Keandre Miller's adding a great offensive game to his already great defensive play. Jacob Trouba is a shot blocking machine. What more can you say about him? Chris Kreider. I know Zibby's been off to a slow start because of Banajak, but he's starting to pick things up a little bit. You have literally everybody contributing. The young guys like Will Cooley, who's showing why he belongs on this team. Will Cooley's been tremendous. Who else am I forgetting about? Eric Gustafson has actually stepped in and become a great sixth defenseman for this team. I was really surprised by how good he's looked so far. But, you really have to love how this Rangers team is. Like you said, they're at the top of the NHL, which is something I was not expecting personally. I was expecting it to be, Boston all the way. I picked Boston to go to the Stanley Cup final this year. Look, a lot can change. Who knows? But as we stand right now, at the time of this live stream, the Rangers are at top, and do I hope it remains that way? Obviously, yes, because I'm a Ranger fan. I am realistic, and I know that it probably will not last. But for now, I am happy that they are this hot.
Yeah, so them and Boston have kind of been flip-flopping between 1 and 2, I think, the last few weeks. Vegas started off hot, of course, and they're kind of leveling off now. So it may be between the Rangers and Boston there for top spot.
Yeah, as of right now, I don't mean to cut you off, Jason. I apologize. But as of right now, Boston is at 17 wins on the year. They're off tonight. Their next game is tomorrow against Buffalo in Boston. So that'll probably be an easy win for them. But who knows? The Sabres are one of those kind of sneaky, pesky teams. So you never know what can happen in that one.
Yeah, and not only are the Rangers off to a hot start, they're actually scoring goals. I've seen some scores with some 4s, some 5s, some 6s in there. They put up 7 on Boston.
Yes.
You kind of already answered the question I was going with this about who's earning their spot on the team right now. So I'll go to my next question. On a team doing this well, is there anybody that you feel is not living up to expectations?
Well, to answer your question about who deserves to make the spot, like I said, it was Will Cooley. He's showing why he belongs on this team. That's a really tough one. Who is not living up to their expectations?
If anybody.
I mean, I really can't think of anybody off the top of my head because, like I said, you literally have everybody contributing. Literally everybody. Now, look, losing Capo Caco hurts. Who knows what the hell's going to happen with him? I wish him nothing but the best. But I'll sort of rephrase the question here. If you want to talk about somebody who's been a bit shaky this year, I would definitely have to point to Igor Shesterkin because, look, he obviously is one of the best goalies in the NHL. There's no question about that. But this year, for some reason, he's had quite a few spurts where he's given up more than 3 goals a game, which is not what you want. I mean, look at last night against Ottawa. He gave up 5. I think a couple nights ago, he gave up 6. He gave up 5 another night. So this is not what you want. He has been very, very shaky. Jonathan Quick has been better than Igor Shesterkin this year. Jonathan Quick is 7-0-1 to start the year. He has been tremendous with the Rangers. Igor, look, I get Igor only has 4 losses on the year, so it's nothing to really, well, now 5. So it's really nothing to set alarm bells about, but it is a bit of a concern because I don't know if he's playing hurt. Look, I don't know these things, but something is off about Shesty. So to kind of rephrase your question as to who's been more shaky rather than who is not living up to expectations, because I really can't think of anybody. So as far as who's more shaky, I would definitely say it's been Igor, no question.
Yeah, last week I had Jeffrey Krentzman on also talking about the New York Rangers, and he felt that Capo Caco hasn't quite been living up to expectations. How do you feel about that?
I mean, yes, you can point to him, but look what happened. He got hurt. So is that really fair to say now? I don't think so. No, look, has he lived up to being the number 2 overall pick that we expect him to be overall? I don't think so. No. But as far as this year is concerned, I really don't think it's fair to say that because he got hurt and he's going to be on IL. We don't know how long he's going to be out. It could be 4 to 6 months. Who knows? It could be season ending, although I keep hearing it's not season ending. I don't know. I'm no doctor. I'm no reporter. I just go by what I hear. But look, I love Capo Caco a lot. I want him to succeed in this league. But when he comes back from this leg injury, I want to see how it's going to play out before we make any assumptions on how he's not living up to any expectations. Because again, he's still young. He's still in his early 20s. So I'm not ready to say, oh, he's not living up to these expectations or he's a bust. Although I did have my doubts about Alexis Lafreniere, but that's another conversation for another day. And now Alexis Lafreniere is making me eat crow in the best way possible because look at the start he's having to the year. But bottom line is this. As far as Capo Caco is concerned, I think it's a little bit unfair because he got hurt this year.
Yeah, and speaking of that, that injury definitely didn't look good. Is there a definite time frame on a return, or is that not even close?
So
to
far, from what I've heard, it is a 4 to 6 month period of time in which he'll be out. Again, I don't know for sure. That's what I've heard from a couple of Rangers reporters on Twitter. But as far as I know right now, it's 4 to 6 months. It could be longer. It could be season ending, but who knows? But you are right. That injury did not look pretty at all. I just hope it's not as serious as we saw that it looked on the ice.
So we could be looking at a possible return for the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I definitely think the Rangers are a playoff team this year.
Of course.
But here's my concern. What are they going to do in the playoffs? Because as of recently, they've had a track record of not doing well when it comes to the playoffs. Look at last year. Granted, they did force a 7th game against the New Jersey Devils, but you saw throughout that entire series, the Devils were obviously the better team. As much as it pains me to say it, it's true. I know Neil's probably listening to this right now and a bunch of other Devils podcasts, but it's the truth. The Rangers' playoff record recently has not been good. Now, do I expect something different this year? Part of me kind of does. I expect them to at least make the conference finals, but at the same time, I'm going to temper that expectation because I know what this Ranger team is capable of in the playoffs. For some reason, they just forget how to do almost everything. They don't know how to shoot. They don't know how to defend. Their goaltending seems... Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. I take that back. Their goaltending seems to amp it up a level, and then the rest of it is just right down the crapper. All right? So, do I expect the Rangers to make the playoffs? Absolutely, I do. They're going to make the playoffs. No question about it. It's when they get there is when we'll find out who this team truly is. And until I see that, I'm still skeptical about it. Bet the action on the ice with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can bet $5 on hockey and score $150 instantly in bonus bets. Now, I'm already looking at some early Hart Trophy odds here. I'm looking at Connor McDavid at plus 300, Austin Matthews at plus 400. If it were up to me, I would go with Austin Matthews. But again, that's just me. What you want to bet on is up to you. Download DraftKings now and use our code THPN. New customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on hockey. That's code THPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/hockey terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2023, all rights reserved.
Yeah, and you mentioned when they get there, goaltending, I think, is going to be a big thing, like it is obviously with every team in the playoffs. You touched on Jonathan Quick, who's come in, 7 wins, 1 overtime loss. Number one, is that a huge surprise to you? And number two, is Shesterkin losing the number one starting job?
Shesterkin is not losing the number one spot. Let's just get that out of the way right now.
That's what Jeffrey said too.
He will have the number one spot, barring an injury or anything else catastrophic. So let's just get that out of the way right now. But Jonathan Quick has been not really a surprise, but it's been a really great story, man. It's been a really good story. He gets to come in, play for the childhood team that he rooted for ever since he was a kid. He's finally in a blue shirt uniform, and now he's going out there and having a resurgent type of season so far. He has been nothing short of spectacular. You look at he pitched a shutout against a supposed Edmonton Oilers team who was supposed to be really good in our eyes, but look at them right now. They're not as good as we thought. He has a couple of shutouts this year. Look at Jonathan Quick, and look, I get it, he's of an advanced age, but that's the reason why you sign players like that to one-year contracts. It's a one-year contract worth $825,000. So if it didn't work out, then okay, you're not spending a ton of money on him. But this clearly seems to be working. And if the Rangers want to bring him back next year for one more year, sign me up. If he keeps up playing like this, I'll be happy to bring him back. So I'm not going to say it's a surprise, but it's been a hell of a story. I will say that.
Yeah, just under $900,000 for somebody who hasn't lost a game yet is not a bad bargain.
Yes. Well, so far, obviously things can change.
So far.
You're not going to win every single start you have.
Yeah. Give me your thoughts on Blake Wheeler so far as a New York Ranger.
People need to calm down about Blake Wheeler because I'm seeing everywhere that Blake Wheeler's no good. Why is he on the team? He's old. Can we relax? Really? I mean, what is it, like 20-plus games into the season? Calm down, people. Calm down. Blake Wheeler is going to be fine. He wanted to come here. Look, I still think he has some things to prove. He's gotten off to a slow start, I'll admit it. But can we relax a little? Stop calling him a bust. Seriously, people, come on. Lay off the man. Look, I get he's 37 going on 38, but relax.
And yeah, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about your thoughts on the Jacob Trouba stick swinging incident. Give me your thoughts on that whole situation.
I mean, truth be told, I did not see that take place live. I had prior commitments to that game, so I wasn't able to watch the entire game. But I did see what happened in the highlights. And look, that's a type of play that shouldn't happen. And he admitted it. He took the blame. He got the. Do I think he should have gotten more than fined $5,000? Look, people are gonna rip me for this, but if you want to get technical, because I keep hearing that people are saying the NHL has gotten real soft over the years. If you want to take it to that mentality, then maybe you suspend him for a game or two. But I'm not the commissioner. I don't make those rules. But from my knowledge, that's just a play that shouldn't happen. You can't just willy-nilly just cross-check somebody in the face like that. That's something that shouldn't happen. And I applaud Trouba for owning up to it. That's what a captain should do. And that is one of the reasons why he was named the captain of the Rangers, because he owns up to his mistakes.
Yeah, I as well did not see it happen live. I saw the replay. Tough to say. Things happen in the game when you're, when things get heated. So, but yeah. You're right. Definitely good on him for owning up to it. And
absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about your show. Tell me how you got into podcasting and how the show came to be.
Well, podcasting in general came to me back in high school. I really have wanted to start my own podcast for a while. The idea came to me because I follow this one guy on YouTube called JR Jackson. He's also known as JR Sport Brief on YouTube. But if you don't know who he is, go subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's fantastic at what he does. And he also has his own radio show on CBS Sports Radio, by the way, which you should go listen to. But anyway, I got the idea from him because he always had this catchphrase that he would say, "Bottom line is." And I thought, that'd be a really good name for a podcast. So I came up with that idea first, and I'm still doing that show to this day. And it's close to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is insane. But it's not just a sports podcast anymore. I've become more of a variety channel with that lately because I'm mainly on YouTube now with that show. Yeah. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I did see that. Yeah, I checked out the channel and I saw.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But as far as this show is concerned, I've had cravings of doing a hockey podcast for about a couple of months prior to 2023 just beginning. And over the summer, I pitched an idea to a couple of friends of mine who are also Ranger fans about a few name ideas. One of them was from the Blue Seats, and I forget what the other two were. There were 3 name ideas that I had, but from the Blue Seats won. So I submitted the idea to our very own Kyle Manifold here on THPN, and shout outs to him for bringing me on board. And, having this show on this network is probably as close to a childhood dream come true as I can get to, because I've always wanted to cover the Rangers from any aspect, whether it's doing a podcast, whether it's doing play-by-play, whether it's doing reporting. So having this show really stemmed from the fact that I really want to cover this team, and I saw that there was a hockey podcast network out there literally titled the Hockey Podcast Network. So I said, why the hell not? I'll jump in there, I'll submit my info, and here we are. But like I said, this is as close to a childhood dream as I'm ever going to get, and I'm very, very thankful that everybody has decided to bring me on and give me a chance to do this show.
Hey, you never know. Some of these small podcasts lead to bigger podcasts and lead to actual credentials at games. So you never know.
Absolutely. Yes. You never know.
So I'm gonna plug your socials and stuff in the description, but tell everybody where they can find you on social.
Oh, yeah. As of right now, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSeats94. That's BLUESEATS 94. And you can use hashtag BlueSeats to interact with us on there. You can also find us on our brand new YouTube channel, which we just launched about 1 to 2 months ago. You can go subscribe to that. Just search for From the Blue Seats, a New York Rangers podcast. And make sure you go subscribe on all audio platforms as well. We're on Apple, Google, Spotify. We're pretty much everywhere at this point. So it would mean the world if you subscribe to us, hit the like button, and please rate us 5 stars. It would also mean a lot to us.
All right. Yeah, that about covers it. Well, Jimmy Fanizzi, thanks for coming on the show, and we'll definitely have you on again sometime down the road.
Definitely, man. And hey, next time we're on, we're definitely going to talk some football because me being a Giants fan, I've got a lot to say about that team, but that'll be for another time.
Now that I know that, I'll definitely prepare for that.
Hey, listen, man, in all seriousness, thank you so much for having me on. This was a blast. We'll definitely do it again soon. We'll have you on my show one day. How's that?
That'd be great. That'd be great. My favorite team is the Flames. My second favorite is the Knights. Okay. So I got a lot to talk about.
All right, so you're like Kyle. You're also a Flames fan. Hey, you know what? I can respect that. I have no reason to hate the Flames, but all I can say is good luck.
Thanks a lot. You have yourself a good night. Hey, listen,
man. Thanks a lot, Jason. This was a blast. Talk soon, man.
Thanks, Jimmy.
All right, Ranger fans, that was my guest appearance on the Puck and Pigskin podcast. Huge thank you to Jason once again for having me on. I had a blast talking with you, and I would love to have you on my show very, very soon. Let's make it happen, my man. Make sure you go subscribe to the Puck and Pigskin podcast on YouTube and on all audio platforms. The links are down below in the description section if you are watching on YouTube, or on the audio side if you are listening there. That is going to do it for this episode of From the Blue Seats, a New York Rangers podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this content and want to keep on seeing or hearing more, make sure that you smash that like button on YouTube and also subscribe and hit the bell so you stay notified of every single episode. And on the audio side, make sure that you subscribe on all audio platforms and please rate us 5 stars. It would mean the world to us. Also, make sure you follow us on all social media, Twitter and Instagram at BlueSeats94, and use the hashtag BlueSeats to interact with us. Stay tuned for an actual new episode within the next couple of days. I promise you, it will be worth the wait. I'm Jimmy Fanizzi. This is From the Blue Seats, a New York Rangers podcast. Go Blue Shirts, and I'll catch you next time. Peace!